Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. Finally, we are sponsored by the upcoming ABV Barrel Shop, a new liquor store experience coming to St. Louis, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop will serve as home to the ABV Network and will be owned and operated by Steve Akeley, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton, a.k.a. the Barrel Buddies. To learn more about the investment opportunities in this new venture, listen to the ad at the end of this podcast. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we are completing a bracket challenge to determine... Wait, shit, I am on the wrong one. Hold on. Back up. Got it.
It's on there.
I know. I was in the wrong spot. That's on me. All right. Take 2. Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we are going to discuss a new craft bourbon themed cruise. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Cailee Baker, Evan Bienskoik, and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
What's up?
Hey. So we're going to talk this new cruise. Interesting. There's probably a little bit of pressure to Lenny to participate in this thing. I just see Distillery 291 is listed, though they say Whiskey 290. That's got to be Distillery 291. That's got to be a typo. So yeah.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Right. yeah. So there's no such thing as Whiskey 291, but Distillery, man, I wonder if Michael Myers is going to go on this thing. We should call him.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, think so? Think he's
it's either him or Philip. For sure.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that that whole thing after the break. So, and he's got that woman from sales too. What's her name? McNew, we had on the show. Yeah, Hannah. Yeah, so it could be any of those 3 really. So we'll have some fun, or even Michael's mom. She's cool. Just have her going there. That's what I do.
Fun to be on a cruise with, I think.
Heck yeah. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. For right now, Evan said there's something he wanted to ask about. What is that, Evan?
Yeah, so we're recording a couple days after Thanksgiving, and I managed to injure myself. But I wanted to hear from you guys. Do you have any interesting, weird stories about getting injured on a holiday?
Injured on a holiday. Other than my dad on a Christmas one time beating me because I threw caulk on a story I talked about in the basement and hit my cousin Sherry's dress and ruined it. And I ruined Christmas.
Oh my!
He dished justice right there in front of the entire family. That was an injury, maybe more to your pride than anything, because all your cousins are there and everything else, and your dignity stripped away as you're cracked in the middle of the room. So that was my worst holiday injury. Hopefully, I never top that. So, Lenny, have you ever had a holiday injury?
I mean, I'm still stuck on throwing caulk.
It wasn't my idea. It was my cousin Richie's idea. He's doing it, and he's like, "Come on, Steve, do this." He's throwing it, at all my younger cousins. He's throwing it and at them, and they're running around and that. And I didn't want to do it because I thought this is a bad idea. But my cousin Richie he's like 2 or 3 years older than me. And, it's like you want to fit in when you're 8 years old with, the old, he's like 11, so he's like, cool. So I'm like, all right. And I throw it. I just don't even look. I just wing it. And I'll be damned if it doesn't fly all the way across the room and hit my cousin Sherry. And then she runs up screaming to her mom. And then, of course, my dad is pissed because he's humiliated in front of the family. I fucked everything up. So, yeah, it was a great time. And then you're there. I can't even go to my room. I'm at my cousin's house. I can't go anywhere. I got to sit in the living room after a baby crying and that, just a lump on the floor. Oh, terrible. If I was in my house, I could at least, crawl into my room and close the door and just never talk to anyone, just lock it and just let everybody leave me alone. No, I was at my cousin's house. I'm sitting next to the love seat, whimpering.
Goodness.
While everyone else is drinking cocktails.
Of course, my cousin Richie's acting like he don't have anything to do with it. He's like, I don't know why he did it. I don't know. He's telling his dad. I don't know what the hell he was doing. The cock was just sitting over there. He grabs it and starts throwing it at people. My cousin Richie didn't cover anything at all. It was like, it was my idea. Or I was doing it too. No, it's just me. I took the fall on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've never had any holiday injuries that I can recall. I'm sure I have, but I feel like I injure myself a lot. My wife, Amy, recently, she hurt her toe somehow. And it was like the first injury she's had. And I don't even know. I can't remember her ever hurting herself or injuring herself.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, I do this every month. I hurt myself in some meaningful manner.
Didn't you recently injure your car buying a Christmas tree? That kind of counts as a
car.
holiday.
I did injure my car, not a physical injury myself. Yeah. My shoulder hurts right now. That might have happened on Thanksgiving.
There you go.
I think I probably need surgery, but I'm gonna just drink it off.
Solid strategy.
All right, Cailee, how about you? Any holiday injuries?
Not that I can recall.
4th of July is a good one with the fireworks and stuff.
4th of July is funny. I got engaged on 4th of July, so you can interpret that how you will.
There you go.
But no, the only thing I can think of recent was last Christmas. It was either Christmas or Thanksgiving because we were watching Christmas Vacation. We always watch it on Thanksgiving, and we always watch it, all throughout Christmas. But my brother was there, which means it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And my husband was drinking eggnog, the Evan Williams mixed, pre-mixed brand that you can just buy for $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes to bed. He was, pretty drunk, and
He's eggnog drunk? Wow, that's a lot of eggnog.
He was
unless he's spiking
drunk,
it himself on top of that.
Oh well, yeah. I think we drank
happens.
Not only that, but we were drinking our own mixed eggnog before that. So he had been drinking eggnog all night. And my brother had brought his Nintendo Switch, and I was like, well, I want to play that. And so I put my husband to bed, and this was before we were married last year. But I come back out and I play Switch for a little while, and I go back in to go to bed at midnight, and lift back the covers on our bed, and Clint's he sleeps without his shirt on. His entire chest, back, and face was just covered in these red blotches, and we figured out that he's allergic to dairy and alcohol. So that was the only holiday related, not really injury, but discovery, and it was definitely weird. I freaked the hell out. Luckily his parents were still living on the West Coast, so they were quite a few hours behind me, and I called his mom, and I was like, has this ever happened before? I was like, I don't know what to do. So we gave him 3 Benadryl, and he had a great sleep, and he ended up being okay, but it was super scary.
Eggnog injury.
Oh, okay. McNew has to have an injury because she gets injured all the time. She falls down, she runs into things.
Very much like Lenny, where I'm injuring myself on a monthly basis unintentionally. This year, I did my first Thanksgiving. It turned out fantastic, honestly. But I can't cook without burning the fuck out of myself on the oven. So I do have some oven burns this year, but I can't really think of anything from my childhood or previously. But I do burn myself a lot with
oven burns. Okay, those are bad.
me in the oven, not burns.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. All right, Van Scoik, you asked the question. That means there must be a good story here. What happened?
Yeah, so I ended up cut 4 different ways on Thanksgiving, all for very different reasons that don't really go together very much. But the first one came from my cat just deciding to just tear into me a little bit because, they do that kind of thing.
They're moody. Yeah, cats are moody.
And their claws are sharper than they expect. Right. So that's
why you can't have a tiger for a pet. They're fine. They'd probably be fine most of the time. But when you catch them on that day, if you had a tiger instead of a cat, you might be dead right now. So yeah. That's why you can't have a tiger.
The next one came from showing off my lightsabers to one of our guests. So we're going through the whiskey library, and he sees my lightsabers. I was like, yeah, I'll go grab the blades that you screw into them. Well, they're fully machined, so they're very sharp. And I didn't like get any gloves out or anything.
You didn't have your gloves on?
Did not have my lightsaber dueling gloves on. So one of the pieces of metal just indented right through the skin. But I won that. I won that one. I hit him in the head and cut myself.
Okay.
The next one, they were trying to
perfectly normal.
Open a bottle of wine, and it had a wax seal on the bottle of wine. And I was like, well, here, I'll just grab a knife. So I'm playing with the knife, and it just one of the serrated edges on the knife just clips my finger. Oh. And I'm like, ow, okay, bandage that up.
That's cut number 3.
Cut number 3. Later in the night, the worst one, we just taken a lovely family photo, and they're like, you got any like knives or swords? I was like, I got the hatchets downstairs that my sister-in-law got.
Hatchets out. Yeah.
So yeah, you might remember that I was recently using the hatchet to open one of these wax seals a couple of shows ago. And he had the sheath off of it. My brother-in-law did. And I'm holding a plastic sword. My plastic sword slides right down the unsheathed hatchet, and it goes into the same finger that I cut myself with the knife on earlier in the night. And that tip of the hatchet, pretty good amount of blood there. And I was like, hey, I'm fine, but it's bleeding a lot. Probably need to go take care of this. And ended up getting pretty lightheaded and actually fainted for about 5 seconds.
Oh my God!
Yeah. My mistake was running it underwater.
I heard there was a little moan right before. I was like, oh, and then just like Jeff Kaplan when he got that tattoo, and he was like, oh.
Well, we're standing there, we're bandaging it up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. What? Oh, I'm getting a little lightheaded, and they're like, you want to sit down? I was like, probably. You want to go lay down? Okay. So I get like a step into the bedroom, and I just like collapse for a second, and then I come back aware, and I'm like, it's fine. I'm fine. I just can't get up right now.
So that was a lot of cumulative blood loss.
An eighth of an ounce. Yeah.
Yes.
In about
6
994 more cuts or so, it will be a death by 1,000 cuts. I still had a ways to go, but I had started that journey. But I've made it through. I didn't lose the finger. It's just a bandage. Nice little scar and stuff going.
It's not even stitches, Evan, and you're passing out.
It's a win if you don't have to get stitches.
I could not control the fact that I got lightheaded from it. It just happened.
So I just want to know, and I feel like this very important detail was omitted in your story, how much bourbon was involved in the cutting of all of your hands on Thanksgiving?
I mean, honestly, it didn't have a whole lot.
Oh, yeah,
they were just...
Other than maybe the cat one. Other than that, it sounds like they're all liquor induced. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had a few drinks throughout the day.
Maybe it was the eggnog.
I don't do that.
Maybe the eggnog.
But I had probably had a few by then, but I mean, they were all just weird, dumb accidents.
Huh. Okay.
Not the lightsaber. That wasn't dumb.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Well, I should have been wearing my gloves, so it's. Yeah. I didn't take safety precautions in all instances.
A gauntlet, I assume.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's Evan's 4 cuts in one Thanksgiving show. Yeah. So how about that? All right. Well, guess what? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Evan, who's recovering after his passing out situation on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we're recording on 12/21. This is coming out. Airs 12/21. So yesterday would have been 12/20 day. And a spirits brewery combination is releasing their new expressions of withered oak. So I actually have their original release that came out earlier this fall. So I was going to use that one.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. We'll see what happens. Cailee, you're next.
All right. So since this airs right before Christmas, I have our newest bottle from Leatherwood. It's our Tennessee straight whiskey. It's pretty sweet. It's got a little skull crossbones. Well, not really crossbones, but the arrow logo. So it only comes around every once in a while. We're expecting these to be sold out pretty fast. Maybe not even by the time this show airs. It might be gone already.
Okay. No, not enough. Evan has the lead. McNew's next.
It's the new corks, damn it.
I feel like that probably sounded good on her end. It sounded like Mike Muffled or something.
It could be Mike Muffle. Yeah,
It was
it's a situation
really
of Mike Muffle. Yeah.
Is a good excuse.
I won't even back it up.
Mike Muffle. That sounds like a friend's name. Were you out there with Mike Muffle?
Some fictional character blames.
All right, McNew. What do you got?
Thanks for trying to back me up, though, McNew.
I have Hotel Tango's bourbon ready to drink.
Okay. No. Again, Mike Muffle, I think. The squeak was loud, but then it went to quiet for the cork pop.
It wasn't great over here either, honestly.
Okay.
Mike
All
Muffle
right.
guy. Jeez.
Yeah, Mike Muffle is killing us. All right. Lenny, you're next. Let's see if Mike Muffle visits you.
Well, I was out in Denver yesterday, and I picked up a bottle of this Deer Hammer Rye single barrel from Total Wine. I like it that much that I bought it off the shelf. It might be my favorite barrel of rye.
Just padding those numbers.
Oh yeah,
it's tasty rye.
Talking
Also,
it up
I
as
was
he
feeling
gets
this
it.
will be a big pop, and I'm feeling like winning. So
Okay. All right. Here we go. No.
it wasn't. It was big.
Oh, that was Mike Muffle. Mike Muffle got him. I don't know what's going
Thanks
on.
again.
Mike Muffle is haunting this show. So with the passing of Mike Muffle, he's now haunting the show. I got Seagrass here. So I supported small business. Look at that price tag. That's from,
That's a great
that's
price.
from Dean's in Collinsville. Yeah.
Sending Steve to rehab because this is a seagrass obsession. It's been seagrass.
I know. This is my latest bottle, and and now I have this one and one backup. So I'm good. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's enough.
That was great.
That was great. Crisp, clean.
I'm good.
Seagrassy. Okay, very good. All right. Cheers, gang.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this craft bourbon themed cruise. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. We are also sponsored by Moonshine University. This longtime partner for the ABV Network helps educate individuals looking to get into the distilled spirits business, service industry employees looking to expand their knowledge, and individuals simply wanting to know more about the process and history of the spirits industry. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at Moonshine University, and it's something I continuously draw upon and connect with fellow graduates. Check out their full listing of classes, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes, and more at moonshineuniversity.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. All right, back to the show. Danny, though, you are between Jim and Victory. What do you got?
I have an Indiana rye.
Sure, Danny.
Tumble dice?
Cumblebeiss. Yes, I love Cumblebeiss. I'm sure that's the name of the brand, Cumblebeiss. Sure.
Tumble
Let's hear the-
dice.
Oh, tumble dice. Okay.
Yes.
Let's
Freddie Mills approves.
Okay. Freddie Mills approves.
So we're about to pop it.
No, that was all desk is what that was. All desk, no pop. Jim wins. So Jim, you got it there, man.
Hey.
Congrats, Jim.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about a craft bourbon themed cruise.
Yes, we are. So they've got this cruise, and it sounds like it's got a couple cool stops too. I like the fact they're going to be stopping in Key West and doing a bar hop, and then they're going to go to the Bahamas, and it sounds like they got some interesting brands on there. Like I said, Distillery 291, a Nulu. So a lot of people are into the whole Nulu barrel picking experience and all that, but you don't see it. They kind of fly under the radar a lot in general. So opportunity to hang out with them, and I guess they're doing bourbon pairing meals and some events. Classes and stuff like that. So it sounds like a good idea, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think it sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a good
If
theme.
any of my relatives are listening, I wear a size bourbon cruise for Christmas.
It doesn't sound too bad, right? So it sounds like they got the tickets listed in there. I guess the basic cabin, I don't know. I've never been on a cruise. I don't know anything about it, but the basic cabin, I guess, is like $539 for double occupancy. And then to add the whiskey thing on there, it's only $75 extra. So it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
here's my thing is that cruises don't sound appealing to me. I know they're a huge ship and you have options to roam all over, but I don't want to be in a little cabin with somebody. I can't wrap my head around the cruise, but the
Not even
whiskey
your
part
husband?
sounds awesome. It sounds like the best festival. Just bring
So,
it on.
I've been on a cruise and you really hardly spend any time in your cabin. Like you get up in the morning, you get dressed and you are gone like all day long. Especially if you have a stop like, where they're going to Key West and going to the cigar shop and Nassau and stuff. You'll be out. Port will be 8:00 in the morning, and then they won't pick you up till 5:00 at night, and then you'll be coasted off to some dinner, and I mean there's plenty of stuff going on.
I'm like McNew. I hate the idea of a cruise, and I always said I would never go on one. It sounds horrible to me, the idea of even being on a ship, and they're like, oh, it's like a floating hotel. You know what? I'll go to a hotel where it's on land, and then I can come and go from the hotel as I please whenever I want to leave. If I want to leave at 3 a.m. to go somewhere, I'll go through, But this, because it's short, number one, it's only like 4 days, and because it has a couple cool stops, Key West and in the Bahamas, I think those are two nice places to go. And all the whiskey stuff, especially if they got really cool brands involved.
Yeah.
It sounds like not a bad time, actually. So
I would really like for Leatherwood to be involved, so I could just.
you could be the
They're
representative.
still
on.
adding people.
Yeah.
I think you can get yourself involved.
That's what
you
I
should,
was looking
you should
at. I
reach
was
out.
like, I was
It's 'cause-
looking for some contact info, and I actually messaged them without even the approval of Andy, but I know he'd be down if we got the
Yeah.
opportunity.
because it did say they're still trying to put together, of course, what a lot of people run into. This is why they should hire the ABV network as a consultant. We can match them up, and we have the contacts to get into
There you
these sort of
go.
places.
Yes.
So yes, that's why they should reach out to us, because when you're doing this type of cruise, you don't have any track record. They don't know who you are. So yeah, we could help them out with that.
Should
Right.
they do that, Steve, or should you just like one up them and take the rum riverboat cruise to the next level?
Oh.
And
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you could say, hey, I could offer a certain number to my ABV network club, and then you would have some whiskey nerds and celebrities on your cruise ship with you.
Yes.
Like you do a hotel room block, you have the Steve
Yeah.
Agley ABV network block.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll look at this, not for this first one, but because we got a lot going on next year. We're going to Maine next year. We've got
Yeah.
Key West next year.
You
We're
also
going to
got to make sure
Colorado.
it's not like the Titanic. If it's the voyage, the first.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the
cruise.
maiden voyage.
You don't want to be on the first one. No. But we'll reach out to them. Yeah, they should have us involved, and we could add some of the we could do some of the events and things like that for them. So they should have us there, and we bring our audience with us. Our audience travels with us, which is nice. So yeah, they should get us involved. And yes, for 4 days, I think I could do that. Much longer than that. I just don't want to be on a boat that long. I don't want to go out to sea. It doesn't sound like you're really going out to sea. You're just kind of island hopping, if you will. So I can do that. Yeah.
They do most of the traveling at night while you're asleep anyway, so you don't really get that feeling of like waiting for the next stop. It's like you wake up and you're like, oh, it's time to get off board and go do some fun shit, and then we
go
get
to Key West. Yeah, the Key West is a big draw for me. I like to get there.
Yeah,
I like the idea that they're pairing dinners and stuff. Like I think they'll probably do a good job with that because I know cruise ships are
known for the food, right? Yeah, so it's a natural that they could kill it with the food stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lenny, what were you going to say?
Well, anytime I've ever been to like a port where a cruise ship will roll in, and I was kind of in the vicinity, and I've seen people kind of stream off the cruise ship, like kind of wide-eyed and wandering around. I've always thought like, God, they look like such chodes.
Right.
That's not cool. Not a good look. But I feel like this one, like if it's done right, you mentioned, 291, and I know Few is involved, and
Few is involved.
Echo is going, and I think I came across a few other pretty rad smaller brands. I don't know, man. If they do it right, I feel like one could step off that ship with some steez and be like, I bourbon cruise. You can't look at me like I'm a chode.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm on a bourbon cruise. Yeah. I'm hanging out with bourbon celebrities. Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. So I think it sounds great. And I like the stuff.
Lenny just mentioned Disney, so I'm going to say plus this is a bourbon cruise. There's not going to be little children running around. They don't have people, children
huge.
Screaming.
Yeah,
that's a huge plus.
You don't have to deal with them.
The only time you can really get away from the kids I went on a cruise for my graduation from college with my mom and like a friend of mine and her mom, and the only time you could get away from the kids was out at the club at night after 10 p.m.
After 10. Well,
yeah.
So.
It's pits.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no rules on a cruise ship.
I looked at it. I initially thought it was a terrible idea because, again, I don't like cruises. But then as I read through that, it sounds like, this sounds pretty good. So, and pricing seemed fair. And I don't know. Check it out. Evan, were you going to say something too? I want to.
Just looking through their website, looks like they had some good deals. Like if you got in before 11:30, they had fare reductions where it was like half price to book. They've got some good looking excursions, a couple of like extra add-ons, like a dinner with a brand. So you can pay to have a private dinner with a brand. They have a whiskey school. They're partnering with Neat Pour LLC. And that's another add-on. So for $100, you can do like a 2-hour whiskey school and tasting type of thing.
Nice.
So it looked like a lot of cool add-ons. You could do it, but I'm kind of with you. Never been like big on the cruise concept, but a sailing with Steve doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I already have the cabana wear, so it's easy for me to transition into this. So yeah, it's good. All right, well, this one went different than initially thought it would, but as I read about it, sounded good. And they're getting some well-known brands and some people that you want to hang out with. So yeah, reach out to Lenny though. They should have Deer Hammer on there. Totally, right, Lenny?
Yeah. I might go as a cruiser this year and participate as a brand next year, or maybe I'll go in underground Deer Hammer events. Without paying the sponsorship fee.
Yes, yeah, there you go.
You could do a deer hunting with Deer Hammer.
Oh,
yeah, on the boat.
Yeah, on the boat, sure.
On the boat, yeah.
On the boat, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Cailee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Cailee O Baker, also at The Bourbon Bakers, and come see me out at Leatherwood Distillery.
All right, Evan.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook as Evan Van Scoy or on Instagram at Wit Wisdom Whiskey.
All right, Lenny.
You can find myself and the rest of Deer Hammer Distillery on the social media at Deer Hammer, on the web, deerhammer.com, where you can also order all of Deer Hammer's products for the most part, shipped right to your door. And you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, our shop, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
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 Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least, at the top of the show, I mentioned investment opportunities at the new liquor store concept, the ABV Barrel Shop, being launched in 2022 by myself, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton. We are crowdfunding some of the capital needed to open the store. Not only does it offer a return on your investment, but a lifetime of status and benefits at the store. Of course, this investment is a loan and involves a high degree of risk, which may not be suitable for all persons. Prospective investors should carefully evaluate the risk and merits of an investment, should confer with their own legal and financial advisors, and should be able to bear the risk of the loss of their investment before considering the investment described herein. If you would like more information, contact us via the under construction website at abvbarrelshop.com and fill out the form.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.